What's up, ladies and gentlemen? World's greatest teacher, Dees, right here, coming to present to you the 25th out of 25 videos. Once you're done with this one, you're done. You've mastered drawing, I guess. I don't know. I have. I'm good at drawing. I hope you are too. If not, go rewatch the videos. Play them while you sleep. Just keep watching them. Never stop watching the videos. Never stop watching them. Alright, so here is what we're going to do today. We are going to do a no-grid, real, still life drawing. I'm going to use the same picture as last time, and you can decide which one you think is better. Honestly, I think this one turned out better than the grid, just because I'm so used to drawing without a grid. But if you still need to use grids, keep practicing with grids until you're ready to move on to this video. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say a grid, check out video number 24, and that will show you. It should be linked below. We're going to get there. We're going to do the real thing. We're going to look at something real, and we're going to draw it as realistically as we can. That's it. That's what it's all been about this whole time. So let's get to it. Hey everybody, Dees coming to you with I guess for this round it's going to be the last video out of the videos teaching you how to do everything that I know how to do to make you better at drawing with a pencil. So we've gone all the way from line, through shape, through form, starting to make things 3D, then value, learn how to shade things. We learned how to do perspective. We learned how to do all kinds of stuff. We're finally at the end. Contour lines, textures, etc. We're finally at the end, and what we're going to do is we are just going to try and take ourselves a color photo. Last time I had a grid, I showed you how to do it with a grid. Now I'm just going to show you how to do it. If I was just nowhere and I was looking at something, how would I draw it? So I got no grid lines on there this time. First thing that I do is I look around, general layout on the page, where a thing's going to be, and then really, really basic shapes. So really, really basic shapes. And your first shape that you draw is going to determine how big all your other shapes are. Because whatever shape that this is, that's everything else needs to be the right size to it. So I know that I got to go down and over a little bit and draw kind of an ellipse that connects here through a few lines. It goes out the back, bit of a bigger line. Next, I know that a little up and over from that. You see how I'm kind of using my images that I draw as my measuring points, a little up and over from this, a little clearance to the bottom, kind of circle, oval on top of it, also known as a pear. I'm just really laying in basic shapes right now. Then back here, a line that goes up and over there, a line that goes up and over there, a line that curves here, going up. There's a line back here, edge of the table. Right, so super basic. Circle, circle, line, curved line, line, circle, oval, line, 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 line. That's what it took. I mean, I'm looking hard, I'm taking my time, I'm drawing what I can. That's what I'm starting off with. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go and I'm going to try and turn these shapes, these real sketchy things, into some outlines. I'm going to check it. Do I like where everything is? I like where everything is. I'm going to see if I can do some real outlines now. Kind of get my shapes laid in where they're going to be. Best I can. Lay this line in here. Curve this one. Trying to draw from my shoulder the best I can. I got a little wrist in there, got a little wiggly. Now I'm going to start adding the small details. Smaller details, medium-sized details, I guess, but I already have all those in. So all I really have is small level of detail coming in here. Top piece of this. Top piece of this. And we got some little holes in here, main one of which is right here. Feel pretty good about that. Okay, now we got our medium details in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to lay in the most basic shading. We're just going to find, kind of looking for like the light half and the dark half of each. So back here is definitely the dark part. Very simple shading. Nothing too dark. Definitely want to be able to go back and fix this. You almost always are going to find out that there's a specific shape to that shadow that you're not quite getting right, that you want to get right later on. But for right now, that's fine. This part has this as the darkest part. Going to show us that it's 3D. Got to get something in there because we got these white holes that show through, and you don't want them to make no sense. You want people to be able to look at them and tell, okay, I can see through something gray. You got to have some kind of shading in there. Otherwise, people tend to want to skip large areas, but we have to do. Obviously, we can come in and make that nicer later on. This has kind of a shape like curves here, like it's like a little sphere up here. Got that crescent moon shape, and a whole nother one down here. This has a line that goes up like that, and is shaded beautifully. Then we just got to lay in our shadows. Draw in some shapes first. I really try not to give them too hard of an outline. I want them to have a nice soft outline in the end. But, you know, you got to start where you start. Start somewhere. I'll come and shade these in. Very last thing. I want to put my darkest dark on them. I'm going to do some light shading just to keep myself from getting confused as to what's inside and what's outside of a shadow. But I am going to come in later with my darkest darks. Filling in a little bit of the background. Whatever needs to be filled in. Over shaded towards this, but not all the way to it. Boom. And the last thing I'm going to do, and I linked this item below, it's not an expensive item, but this is some 4B lead, which means that it is going to be darker than normal lead. And I'm going to find wherever the darkest place is on each thing. I'm really going to look, now that I'm doing really dark stuff, I'm really looking for what is that actual shape. Try and copy that shape, just like any other shape you'd draw, like trying to draw a picture offline or something like that. Same as it would be drawing SpongeBob's nose, except this just happens to be the shape of a shadow on an orange. Darken our shadow, of course. And on to the next place. Where's the darkest part on here? Don't go too crazy with your darkest dark. A lot of people get that dark pencil and they start thinking it looks really cool and really bold, and then they go crazy, and then the next thing their whole drawing is a mess, because the way it goes, if you put too much of the darkest dark, put this little bit on each one of these, I think it makes them look a little bit more 3D. A little bit of dark shadow that's around the edge of each one of these. Alright, how about up here? Sort of a moon shape that comes through this. Doesn't quite touch any of the edges, but goes in sort of the same general shape. Yes, and you notice I'm curving along with the shape of the form of the pear. in order to make it look a little bit more 3D with a cross contour line. And we get real dark down here. And coming over here, the darkest part of this. Same thing, continue. Find the darkest part, the one darkest part. Usually it fades into something else, but if it doesn't fade, if it's a big jump, like on something made of metal or something like that, make sure you copy exactly what you see. Try your best. Copy exactly what you see, and no matter how weird it looks halfway through, the end, bet it looks right. At least better than what you're used to. Can't say it's going to be perfect right off the bat, but better than what you're used to. Unless you used to be really great, and then something happened to you, and now you're horrible at art, in which case that's not my fault, okay? Just rebuild your skills. Darken this a little bit. Once I got to the other edge, I realized that some of my other darkest darks, I got a little braver with my dark pencil, so I don't want this one to have too light of a dark part. Does that make sense? I want it to match with the darks of the others. It should. Same contrast in photo. So now, I have that done. I did that with no grid. A lot of teachers, that's really important to them, that you can see it with your eyes and not use a grid or any sort of, other technique other than just looking and drawing. So there you go. If they need you to do it 3D in real life, then just do it 3D in real life with your actual objects. You'll definitely be able to take the information that you learned from looking at a photo, doing this, and take it. Just remember, start with the simple shapes, then a little bit more complex outline. Follow that up with the lightest shading. Just look for where is it light, where is it dark, kind of a two-part shading. And then you bring in the darkest darks. Make sure you bring in your eraser in case you need to clean up any highlights anywhere, which I did not do on this because I didn't shade gray all the way through. But if this was a 7 or 8 value drawing, I would definitely be bringing in some erasers and cleaning up some highlights in the lightest grays. You should know everything that you need to know. You can look at something and draw it now. You need to go back and review the videos, do that, practice this until it just looks like photographs, and then move on to whatever else you want to do with your life. But when it comes to having the actual skill of drawing something realistic, I think I've taught it to you at this point. So follow along with all the videos. I hope you enjoyed. That's all I got. Fill a million sketchbooks and become a great artist. Thank you for watching. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your final homework assignment from me is just to practice this until it is fantastic. Even if you think your first one turned out fantastic, even if you think it was almost perfect, figure out something you can make a little bit better and make sure you practice at least 5 times. I would practice 10 times in my sketchbook. I might fill up the whole rest of my sketchbook just practicing different still lifes, set up different things that mean different things, whatever it takes. Get that sketchbook filled so that if you're turning it into a GT program, into a magnet program, if you're turning it into, I don't know, you have a grandmom who said she would give you $100 if you filled a whole sketchbook. Boom! You're welcome. Send me half. Whatever it takes, get it done. Make sure this is ready. And if you turn it into an art college or somebody in your high school who's going to get you ready for an art college, all these things, just the more work you can show that you're willing to do, and the fact that you're willing to say, I'm not perfect at drawing, but I sure will practice until I get close. That's what matters. Hey, if you did this whole thing, I'm super proud of you. And you did a really good job. Or you didn't. I did a really good job. And you're welcome. Goodbye. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last thing that I wanted to say. This is going to be at the end of every video, I do believe. When you are done with your homework, take it on over to the Discord and turn it into the art submissions. We want to see what you're working on. I will pop in from time to time, usually around 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't get weirded out by that. And I will give you feedback on the work that you have done. So make sure that you check the link below so that you can get to our Discord and you can join these submissions and start putting your art out there for people to see, give you feedback, help you get better at. I got a bunch of artists that have already gone through my class that hang out in there, and if you think you're going to do something funky, you're not, because my mods are going to get you. You understand what I'm saying? I might be a boomer, but my mods are powerful zoomers. I'm not challenging you, though. Please don't mess with please, just be nice. Just do the artwork.